Holy shit. Yeah, seriously. Like, what's up, Amonos? Like, no joke, I literally just start my stream. This happened one other night, too. And just instantly, like, 10 bots. I need to, hold on. Twitch command to ban a word. /ban and then term, I guess. So I think that was the term, peaky buy or whatever the shit that stupid crap is. I have one for the funny thing is there was actually more than what you just saw. There was more than that. Because they fucking I already have a ban phrase for another one of the bots, but that's a newer one that I don't have a ban phrase for. So it instantly removed a couple of them, and then there was those that got through that I don't have the phrase for yet. It's crazy. Good nap? Yeah, it was a good nap. I found myself kinda excited to get back on and work on the character, even though I was a little sad that right before my nap I found out that I don't think I'm gonna be switching for a while. Oh my god, it's peak buy. Or they spell it different every time, but Jesus. But yeah, nap was good. I found myself kind of excited to play, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. It says to switch once you do your second lab, so you get the guaranteed ignites. That's the recommendation. And then also, we're not near the block yet. Yeah, we want this node first, so hits always ignite. And then, all the way down here is our first bit of block nodes, like this wheel right here. Oh, I thought my camera was covering it. And then there's one more wheel. Might be this one here. I think there is some block up there, but it doesn't have us grabbing it. We eventually get a spell block wheel up here. We get this spell block wheel here, I think. That spell block. There's actually just a lot of spell block near the top. Which, I mean, spell block is obviously still good. That should still trigger it. There is some block over here, I think, but we don't get it yet for some reason. Yeah, there's a little bit of block over on this side. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just following the guide. I don't know if it's the best way to go. Maybe I should have looked more into it, but he had a leveling path, so I was like, well, maybe it'll work. I almost leveled his Righteous Fire until maps. I really considered it, but I didn't know what kind of respec would be needed if I leveled his Righteous Fire. Like, I do spec into a lot of fire nodes as this build, so it might not have been too bad of a respec. But I was worried about not having what it took to respec, so... This build followed, like, the... I think I only unspec like, a couple nodes later on. So I decided to just go with this, since I'm going to be able to get away with probably just my respec points through the campaign. But, I mean, so far it's not too bad. Cheaper the lower level you are. Yeah. Yeah, I might have been able to do the RF. But this has worked. I started collecting some gear. I have a 5-link ready. I kind of want to try to recolor my 5-link and see if I can use it for now. Might be nice to have that extra damage. Maybe next waypoint I make it too. But yeah, it's not the zoomiest leveling, but it's not terrible. We're making steady progress. Way faster than Ice Crash. Is that gonna be your main... Is that gonna be your big one-shot ability? You were talking about, like, one-shotting bosses or whatever? Or are you just leveling as that? One per 3 seconds, that's wild. It is, yeah, nice. Sure, yeah. I shall check. Ooh, we got a new wand. We haven't seen a wand in a while, and our wand is really out of date, so I'm hoping we get some decent rolls. I also need some good links for Holy Flame Totem. I might end up using Holy Flame Totem in my 5-link. Let's check this build out. $500 mil damage. Jeez. Does he not have any phases? That's crazy.
La, 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 la.
Oh, is that so?
Yep.
You do it to the campaign bosses? Nice.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I was talking on stream.
You're good.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Man, and you do that to campaign bosses? Yeah, I imagine that'd be slow. That's pretty crazy though. Man, at that point, it's like, I wonder if it would be worth it to, like, level as something else until you get it up there, and then swap it to a boss killer once it's, like, 90 or 95 or something. Did you see my message about Shrew's chest? Mega.
I did see that.
It was funny. I'll have to show you the short. I'm gonna make a short out of it, Amonos. I was recording, but I was off stream when I did it. My, where's the challenge in that? Nice, yeah. My friend was trying to link his chest. He's playing the same build we were. Ben's build. He bought a chest that wasn't linked, and he spent, like... He spent maybe, like, 75 chaos, maybe a little more, I don't know the exact amount, but trying to link it, and then he gave up, and he was just gonna do the 1500 fusings to guarantee it. But he didn't have the craft, so I got on my character to do the craft for him. And once I took all the fusings and the chest, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna link it for you. And if it takes more than these 1500 fusings, I'll pay the difference. and so I took it and I linked it in 180 fusings, roughly. So I was able to give him 1300 fusings back and his 6-link chest. So saved him some money. It was a cool little moment. I'll probably try to make a short of it. Probably after stream tonight, I'll probably try to get that made. His reaction was funny. Yeah, I figured I had a bunch of extra currency on trade at the moment that I don't. I mean, I don't want to just like get rid of it, but to help him out, I didn't mind. I also felt bad because he kind of had the sunk cost fallacy, but I could hear him like debating it in his head of being like, well, I already spent some fusing, so maybe I should continue linking it, but I just kind of want it out of the way, and I don't want to risk spending like 4,000 fusings, so I made the choice for him. How'd the day of Arc Raiders go, Mega?
Bueno, bueno.
Bueno, bueno. I was curious where Jordan
This is
stood on
still
it when I
what
saw you guys
22.
on League last night.
Oh yeah, no, he's still super obsessed. He's on
Nice.
like day 4 of Hooky.
Oh
And I think he
no.
said he's taking tomorrow off too.
Oh no.
He's obsessed. Yeah.
Is it because he's enjoying the game, or does he just have vacation time he needs to take before the end of the year?
No. He said he's straight up playing Hooky for Arc Raiders.
Oh goddamn. I've had that with Bombo. He spent thousands on one, and you like give it here, first click, six link, damn.
Still.
You're like, why was that so hard, Bombo? Do
And
better.
the boss like, okay,
Nice.
we'll see you Wednesday then. Like, don't come tomorrow. So it's like half Jordan, but then half like his boss like doesn't want to get sick or something.
Nice. But Jordan's not sick.
No, not that I know of. I mean, he sounds fine. He's playing Arc Raiders all day.
That's so rare for Jordan.
I think it is. I think it may have started like last week with him kind of being sick, but now I think it's just Arc Raiders, and he's just milking
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited to make the swap. I'm a little worried about not having the shield and getting into like, I wonder how far I'm gonna be able to push without the tree or without the shield, but hopefully we can at least hit a decent map level without the shield and feel happy with where we're farming. I did that wrong. Ow. Dual resistances unlocked. Return to Dust is so good. Trap Death. You should have seen my hardcore, I mean not hardcore, you should have seen my Uber lab on the Wander. I was so dumb. There was one point where I thought I had to go a certain way, so I went that way and it ended up not being the way to go. So then I backtracked through the zone. So I went through the traps and I hit like every single trap on the way through. And then I hit every single trap on the way back and just freaking died because I ran out of like flask charges on life flask. And I couldn't make it through without not getting hit. It was bad. It was really embarrassing. Fortunately, I was not streaming, so I can just pretend like it never happened. He would have clipped it. That was pretty bad. I don't think that wand is going to be better, unfortunately. Although that helmet, it's pure strength, which ideally we don't want, but kind of juicy, so I kind of want to hold on to it. I didn't realize I found another body part. Okay, I'm assuming 4,500. Yeah. It's close, but not quite. I need to try to remember to pick up swords too. Start trying to find something for when I do swap. Oh. What the fuck just happened? I just died and accidentally hit the respawn button when I went to go loot. Just instantly. Holy shit. Well. I saw he died and I thought I was safe, but he exploded with frickin' shitty chaos damage crystals, or whatever that was. I mean, I saw it. Like, I saw it happen, but I couldn't react in time. That was wild. That's, I think that's only death number 3, though. And death number 2 was due to me watching my friend link his chest. That was when he was trying to link his chest the first time, and I was sitting there watching him while fighting things and just died. Oops. Rip indeed. I've always been enchanted by the idea of hardcore. Actually, my first time playing PoE, me and my friend just exclusively played hardcore, even though we sucked at the game. We refused to not play hardcore, and we legit would make it to like level 30 and die. We'd make it to level 40, die. We'd make it to level 30, die. We'd make it to level 10, die. And then we'd quit for a while and be like, fuck this game. This was like way back in like beta PoE days. And like, as the leagues passed, I want to say Breach might have been one of my first leagues where I finally said I was going to play softcore and really went ham on it. Best league for it? Yeah, I know if you rip, you go to the league now, not standard. I thought about it, I just didn't want to have to go, like, rip all my currency over after. That's the main reason I didn't, because I knew I was gonna die anyway. But once you die, you'd then have to go make a new character, get to town, grab all your shit out of your chest, and then move it over if you had anything there you cared about, I guess. Oh, I did not mean to go back to the door. By the way, I'm an idiot, and I wanted to apologize because I realized after how much of like an asshole I probably came off as. When we were talking earlier, like yesterday, I think it was, and you were showing me this build and you told me to look up the shield, and I made a comment about like, because we were having a conversation about you saying like there's no reason to spend like 100 divines on the build or whatever, so like I should look up a different one with more rares or whatever, and then you told me to look up the shield. I thought you were trying to tell me that there's, like, I shouldn't even consider buying the shield because it was so expensive. And then when I looked it up, I saw it was only, like, 27 chaos, and I think I said something along the lines of, like, I think you just, like, disproved your own argument, or something like, some arrogant statement like that. And I've been thinking about it for, like, the whole day when I realized how much of an asshole I must have sounded like. When you were just trying to, like, I'm pretty sure you were just trying to tell me that, like, the shield that probably makes the build what it is cheap. And I, like, completely shut down what you were trying to tell me, because I'm an idiot. And I just misunderstood. That's good. Sometimes I get in my own head about the way that I come off to people. I heard you say, Omonos, you are a fuckhead. Oh no. Well, cancel that whole attack with the hands. Oh my god, they're on the same timer. That's so funny. Look at that. Right when he does his slam, they're on the exact same cooldown. That's amazing. Right when he did his little slammy attack, he did the hands came up and stunned him out of it. Although it's kind of shitty because that's an easy attack to dodge, you just walk circles around him, and it's like, no problem, but... Almost got overrun there for a second there. Luckily, she didn't take much damage. By the way, I'm surprised it doesn't become a problem that we have, like, a stone golem taunting. considering we want things to hit us. I was thinking about that as I like looked at like the final version using Stone Golem and shit. Unless the Stone Golem doesn't taunt anymore, but I think it's supposed to, doesn't it? I can't remember. But like right here, like, I mean, maybe I could stand in front of him there. Now he switched to me. But for a while there, he was like smacking my golems. It's just gonna be really interesting what that's like at endgame. But I mean, everyone's playing this, so I imagine whatever they do, it's not a problem later game, I suppose. I think we can use axes or swords, right? Although, I think we want... he uses swords the whole time. May have taunt on permanently. Wait, how do you have taunt on permanently? I tried to... You did mention that I taunt, but I tried to look at the build to see, like, how I would taunt, but I couldn't figure it out. We don't need evasion ES chest, we can grab the axe instead. I couldn't, I briefly looked and... Oh, flask. Yeah, I mean, I thought of the flask, I just didn't know if that would have enough of an uptime. I guess if you get, like, charges when you're hit, maybe it, like, and then you're just taking hits the whole time. Even in a boss situation, maybe it's enough to maintain it. Unless I find a mage blood. That'd be crazy. Another one-handed axe. I guess we'll go back real fast and take a peek at some of this gear. Um, I don't know quite know damage numbers yet, but I know his build, he has like triple element, and that's double element. I don't know how those numbers are for this level. They might be kind of low. They're pretty low, actually. I'll hold on to it just in case, but... What do we got? Even lower element numbers, so I'm just gonna toss that one, and then this one just has like fizz and attack speed. I think this clearly adds up to being more damage too, so I think we'll toss that one. And then we'll just play the upgrade game. If I find one better than this, then we'll change it. Might as well grab skill points while we're here. I was almost not going to. That's what I did on my other character, was I talked to the NPC, my inventory was full, I think, and I wasn't able to grab it. So I didn't, and then I completely forgot on my Cyclone character until I was like 90 something, and then I realized I was missing a skill point from campaign. Oops. Oh, that's kind of a good helmet. Not terrible. Do we want to give up the onslaught to start getting some tankiness? We need the lightning res too. I think we tried giving up the onslaught. Okay. Oh, right. I wanted to try and get my body armor set up. I have this body armor right here, which is decent. Can I use the colors as is for Holy Flame Totem, maybe? Is there a good red gem? It does do some physical. You could get some of the physical to do extra fire. Or is there a way to... I don't know that multiple totems is worth it for the 40% less damage. I guess we'll just try added fire. 2182. 2891. That's a decent increase. And then we need another, maybe we just do LE focus. We don't really have much ignite right now anyway. We're already running controlled destruction. Okay. We could try to recolor our helmet to run a 4-link. We need 4 blue, though, which might be a little rough. We're not even using shield charge right now, so we don't even need that on. Let's see if we can get 4 blue, by chance. I don't want to use too many. Damn. Okay. 3 more, we'll go down to 30. Fuck. So close. I don't think there's really a green gem we could use on Wave of Conviction that'd be good. 1 more. Well, actually, wait, hold on. Maybe we just stick with this for now, actually. Like, because this is gonna allow us to drop our shield for something different. Which, I did have this one, which will get us more life and reses, and we can finally drop this hunk of trash. I was trying to get a shield for... I did a couple shield-focused tree drops. Trying to get a, trying to get a shield with increased block chance. To try to get more block for when I make my swap. Finished drinking my orange juice. I made some eggs with orange juice before the stream. Had a little bit shorter of a recording day, so I had a little bit more time. Even though I wanted to start streaming earlier, but I've been kind of in the mood for eggs for... I usually try to make something real quick, so that way I can start streaming quicker, but I was really in the mood for some eggs. So with that, I am now res capped, so as long as I don't hinder any of my gear by needing to change it for colors or something, I should be res capped till maps now, I think. Exciting. And we didn't even have to do any crafts to reach it either. We just naturally found the gear to hit res cap. Man, we fill up quick when we have a lot of things we want to grab. Luckily, we are going to town anyway, so... Trying to pick up items for this build and the next one too, so... this just better than what we're using? Straight up. More life, more all res, a little less cold res. And we also gain strength, which is something we're shy on. Ooh, this sword also gets physical and dual element. This might... Although dex might be a problem. It's actually crazy that he uses swords, but we don't get a lot of dex on the tree. Which, I mean, I guess I could run a dex amulet now. We'll just have to see. We'll just keep storing things. We are still res capped with that on, and we gain more life. Hell yeah.
Farewell.
I think I want to work my way down to the block nodes, just so I can have them ready. So as soon as we swap, we'll at least have some block. It's kind of crazy, like, in his leveling guide, maybe he just didn't swap for a while, but in, like, this Act 6 through 10 guide, he does not have any block. You actually have to go to, like, the white tier map section before he gets any block. I feel like that would not feel good leveling. So I'm actually just choosing to go against what the guide is saying and get some block on the way. We don't want a mace. I need to look up, I think one of our, like, a good early weapon, if we were to get a unique weapon early, is Rebuke of the Ball. I think that's what it was. I need to look up what level that is, so I know when I can start doing, like, some unique stuff. I'm trying not to use any blood on unique stuff until then. And I was thinking about focusing swords for a minute and seeing if I can get it, because I don't know that it's like a super rare sword. I don't think it is. I could be wrong. Let me make sure that's the sword I'm thinking of. If we look at, I think, yellow maps, Rebuke of the Ball, yeah. It's got a requirement of 64. So I guess pretty high level before I bother to start chancing it. What about if we switch to the red maps? Aegis Aurora is 62. Okay. Which that should be good, because that means we can, they don't have, like, a high level requirement or anything, which I didn't think they did. There's not a lot of legendary or uniques that do in the game. But that just means we'll be able to... Oh my god, what's happening? I got distracted with what I was saying. Oh, we could just stay, worst case, we could stay in low maps until we manage to get it. Just try to get some hands with, like, blood gain or something, even if they're not, like, the ideal skills. If we're doing okay mapping without hands, then we can just use ones that have that. Just to get the blood, just to spam the tree faster. But I mean, it's not like I'm on hardcore. I'll push as far as I can get until it just feels miserable to map and I need better gear. With whatever I get. Obviously, the higher I get, the better bases I can get for crafting on and stuff, so... to get better gear. Since we use armor and ES gear mostly, we must not get spell suppress, right? We just don't bother. We don't need it when we have 80% block. It's actually kind of funny, not even, like, the golems do a good little chunk of damage, even not even being spec'd. Golemancer is another build that I low-key love. But it hasn't been, like, super meta for a while. Not a good SSF build either, because you need, like, a ass ton of jewels. What was the benefit to using that node that makes it so your ES can't regen? Where was it? This one. Past armor. Oh, physical damage prevented from hits recently is regenerated as energy shield per second. Okay. Which, I mean, technically my armor is above my ES. I could grab it, which would just give us some fizz mitigation a little bit. How are we looking on blood? Oh, we don't have all that much. Feels like I've been saving up for a while. Maybe I've just been not doing good enough on the encounters. Oh man, it's way over there. I'm gonna be honest, I think a lot of the gear that I want to get from the tree, and we already have our 5 link, I think I am just gonna skip the encounter this time, since it's way the hell over there. We're already over leveled by a lot. Ooh, crystal wand. Oh, Soul Eater. Maybe I should grab the bigger mana flask. I haven't upgraded mine in a time. Not the wand we want, but it can still roll crazy caster mods even if it doesn't have a prefix, so I guess we'll grab it. You never know. We also have a minion ring that a bone ring that I decided to pick up, and it ended up being the best ring we'll probably find in a while. Yeah, we have enough decks that straight up we can get a Dex amulet and we'll be set. Although we'll be locked into one of our rings because one of our rings has Dex. I think several pieces of our gear have Dex actually. How hard is it, I wonder if there's like a lot of gear requirement for the Castle and Stun build. It's not something I really need to worry about, but I was just thinking about, and I don't know, maybe this build can do it too because of how tanky it is, maybe it's fine. But I was thinking about ultimatum farming. Basically I was thinking about how to get in like the long term, if I ever get to this point, which knowing me I probably won't, getting the they're not incubators, that's the wrong league. What are they called? Catalysts is what I was thinking about, like getting catalysts on SSF, and I was thinking about how you'd get those. Like I said, that's so far away it's not even funny, but that's a tiny bit more life with more reses, but we lose those sockets, which we actually have the sockets in other places that we can do it. It's just not that big of an upgrade. It's actually really... Fuck it. I'm gonna keep these just in case I need to go back, because it's really, like, not that crazy of an upgrade anyway. And then let's check wand. 65. 7k, we finally found a new wand. The flat damage on this bitch. Crankin'. Let's, real quick, let's check our tree while we're in a decent position. We have a body part to turn in.
Greetings. I'll see you again.
And I want to get this... Oh, nope, wrong thing. Where were we at for this? I guess 1 point doesn't get us very far. I had I went back to shields, okay. Wait, I went back to shields, but I left... Wow, what was I doing when I got off? I had shields on, but I went for attack modifiers? What was I doing? I think I was distracted. Wasn't paying attention. And I think I was trying to focus weapons and ended up just, for some reason, going for shields. I guess I don't really know where... I'm not going to spend that point right now until we're actually going to spend blood. I genuinely don't know where I'm going with that. Spend those there, and yeah. We're not even half on blood, so we'll keep leveling up, see if we can get more higher eye level things before we spend blood. We can start getting block. Whoa, 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 wrong act. Wrong final zone of an act. Alright. Dog might be barking on and off. I'll try my best to mute. Alright, I think he was let back inside, so... might be safe from doggo time.
This world isn't yours to conquer.
That one was a little spicy. Man, seeing myself take a beating like that already, like, and I'm not even close to having a lot of my tankiness yet. Like, I was just thinking about how that damage I was taking would have just been me being able to, like, retaliate and blast eventually. Kind of excited. I'm also not against having multiple characters for things, too, like... In a way, I sometimes like playing multiple characters, which is kind of why when I was on my Kinetic Blast, I was trying to think of, like, a potential, like, T-17 farmer to do instead of the Kinetic Blast, and just keeping the Kinetic Blast as is, just to have, like, something different to hop on and work on. But now that we're on SSF, if I may like, this might end up being my T-17 farmer, but it may not end up being my... It may not end up being my just, like, general map farmer. We'll see. It's all gonna depend on how it feels. Like, if Breach feels perfectly fine, then I'll just probably keep playing this. For a while at least. If I get some of the items to, like, enable another build, like, a decent... I'm kind of, like... I've been craving the crazy, like, deck stacking ballista build, so I may try to save dex items, and it uses a lot of uniques, too, I think, so... It may be something I work towards eventually. But using that bow that lets you get more ballistas based on your dex and stuff like that. And it looked like it, I mean, even though it's a ballista build, it looked like it blasted pretty good because of how many ballistas you could have. You legit just walk forward pressing ballistas, and they just... As soon as enemies get in range, they die. And they shoot things, like, almost off your screen, so... But there's a lot of... I'm pretty sure there's a lot of uniques involved in that, or if anything, just a lot of gear that requires, having dex on it while still getting res capped and everything. Alright, Act 6 complete. A little slow, but it's fine. A lot of cold. With an open prefix for fire. How does this compare? The lightning is pretty low, though. 42 to 84. This is 30-something to 60-something if you add the fire and that. And it doesn't have the open prefix. I think this sword just beats it. Save this just in case I don't get the dex to be able to use it as soon as I want to. I'll have a weapon that I can at least just throw on. By the way, I'm gonna be the biggest hoarder in the world. Be ready for it. I'm gonna be saving everything. But if I could use it in the future... Hopefully it lasts long enough on this character to find some leveling gear, though. With any luck. So if we do make an ult, we'll be able to blast up, hopefully. Ow. Ow. I'm trying to get every piece of my gear as armor ES too. Like, now that I'm res capped, I'm trying to be a little pickier. Because I get that node on the tree that gives me, a benefit if all my gear is armor ES. Or at least most of my slots are. My damage is just sometimes not great. Like, sometimes it feels good, and then other times it's just like... Hello? Just some chonky rares here and there. I'm actually, you know what I just realized? I'm still not using the aura I'm supposed to be using, too. I couldn't get anger as a witch, and I finally can now that I have the Act 6 vendor, but I completely forgot.
Let's see you get through this.
Need to grab some white items and use some Orb of Bindings, too, if I really need to. That'll be nice. Some easy 4-link RNG gear. What do we want to do here? There's a lot of nodes that we can get. Like, we could go for some more fire damage if we don't want to get the block quite yet. When do we get our third lab? It's at, like, the end of this act, right? If I'm not mistaken. So we might be swapping some, like, towards the end of this act, which means maybe I should just grab the block stuff now. I guess worst case, what is it, like 6 points or something like that? And then all the points after that, if I'm not changed yet, I can grab like the fire damage and shit, which will increase this build's damage. And I mean, if anything, just getting some block will make me a little more tankier. And as long as I'm not like miserably dying through the content, it's not terrible. But ideally, I do want to be killing faster. But I know we'll get there. I wonder how I would have been if I tried to do RF and tried to, like, follow this tree a bit, but also do RF, maybe picking up a little bit more of the damage along the way. I wonder if I would have been more miserable, or if it would have, like, felt way better than this. I don't have golems. Fuck me. When I changed out the gear, I lost them before. I completely forgot. That's probably why, like, half these encounters have felt a little spicier. Like, I think ever since I didn't have the golems, I've been saying, man, that was spicy. Man, that was spicy. I didn't have my frickin' the whole reason for my first ascendancy out. Which is actually crazy, because that's even more damage mitigation and stuff, where I was already saying, like, I feel pretty tanky. They didn't have Stone Golem for just increased defenses and regen and chaos res and all that shit. Is that 3 whole fusings? Gaming. Gonna try to find the lab in this area. Here it is. Gilded Salad.
Shine boldly, so that all may find you when the night falls.
Lab trial number 2 done. We'll actually be able to grab the 3rd one very soon, but I think I'll still wait a tad. I don't know. We're high enough level that we could do it right away. A lot of the times I wait till, like, right before I'm headed to the last boss of this act. I get like all my skill points through the act and everything, and then I go do the lab. I don't know why I stopped there. It's just always been kind of like my good, like, I'm not chaining waypoint to waypoint kind of thing, and I don't want to lose my zone progress. Ooh. We actually want an armor ES shield. I can't imagine it's going to beat what we have, but our inventory is full, so we're going to go back and sell. But yeah, I could just do the lab immediately. Shit, I always do that. Frickin' PoE 2 muscle memory. Control clicking the ID vendor in PoE 2 IDs the items for you. Which is really nice. Hello. We just got boot upgrade. Let's go to hideout real fast and see how much life we can put on it. Wait, all the prefix are taken. No. I didn't realize that was hybrid roll. I think it's worth giving up life for triple res 20 move speed, right? Like giving up 30 life, and it's on an armor ES base, which is the base we need. And then I guess we're just gonna put Ice Golem in our helmet with our other links. This doesn't really need to be there, but... Problem for another day. 1794 life still and 354 ES. Pretty good with 20% move speed, triple res boots. Obviously the triple res isn't a massive number, but I feel like unless we find better, of course, those boots can last a while. God damn it, hold on. Because I just thought of it. Do I have an extra red socket? Oh, I do. I do. Because of the new boots. Look at that, gaming. That's why I waited this long. Not because I forgot every time. That's not why. My totem doesn't benefit from my aura, right? Or maybe it does because it's not... Totems don't benefit from heralds. But it probably benefits from... this one, I imagine. Since it's like affecting allies. Let's see. 5650. Wrong button. I forget that that button's not on T anymore. Yeah, okay. It is. Nice. That's buffering our totem and us. I'm really hoping, I mean, I know there's more to come and everything, but I'm really hoping that we get that, a decent roll on that ES, or armor ES shield. Trying to get everything to be armor ES right now. To do the breaching counter. We're starting to get into the territories of needing a upgraded hand, I think. The Return to Dust is starting to not be as exciting. I have all my golems out still. Yeah, we're good. Paranoid about that now. Yikes, this might not be good. Luckily, she hasn't taken that much damage, surprisingly. Alright. You can do it. Yeah, that was... Get a little overrun every now and then in those with the setup, but... I'm so pumped for the swap, I just don't want to do it too early. Kinda scared of that. But we're very close to being able to do lab. It's actually kind of cool. I don't know how hard the Anoint is. I haven't checked the price of it, so I don't know what it's going to be like on SSF to get. But, it's kind of cool. I was watching that video some more that you linked me, and last night I watched it a bit, and he was talking about how his Anoint apparently, like, keeps your... like your strongest ignite on the target as long as you're keeping like Arcanist brand on them. So basically you do on like a boss fight, unless it has like phases where it'll drop it. Let's go clear inventory. You essentially just you smite them, you Arcanist brand them, and you curse them or whatever, and then you get a big ignite off, and then as long as you keep Arcanist brand on, your ignite like never fades. Damn, that shield isn't all that special. I think we just need to keep ours. I don't think shield is a part of this node's middle ability, right? Increased armor and energy shield from equipped body armor if equipped helmet, gloves, and boots. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be shield. We don't have to use an ES shield, so I'm not going to use a shitty one just because it's armor ES. It's actually a lot of reses. Hold on to that in case we need it. Okay. Did I use waypoint or did I portal? Okay, I must have... Yeah, we're good. Go out of our way a little bit for the encounter. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. It's... God knows where. We're not doing that. I thought that was going to be a pathway that led over there, but it didn't. Alright, let's find the lab trial here. Which should be our final one for Merc Lab, and then we can go do Merc Lab whenever we want. I wonder if, do we eventually get the node to make life regen affect ES once for CI? Or do we just not care about the life regen our golem's given us? I imagine we would. We're right next to it, right? I can't see why we wouldn't get it. Unless there's some negative to that node that I'm not remembering. Isn't it right up here? Yeah, no, there must be no reason not to grab it. Not sure on which version. Unless you're just spending 1 point. Let's see. Skills. Red maps. Interesting. Oh, wait. No. Hold on. Red maps section still isn't even CI. Endgame. Endgame, it does get it. We also get a cluster, which I'm probably not going to be getting. What does that do for us? Ignores all movement penalties from armor, damage while holding a shield, move speed, attack damage, reduce enemy stun threshold, chance to double stun duration. Okay, that doesn't really seem like it's like... That seems like you can do without it. Wait, what are the items? I think I only looked at red maps. Is there... This must be the end game. Oh, I think the end game one uses a different body armor. How in God's name do you get 56% increased global defenses fractured? That's crazy. Yeah, that ain't happening. We'll just stick with Incandescent Heart if we finally get that for a while. I think that's the 100 divine shit that we don't need, that Amonos you were talking about. That's not a Wait, hold on a sec. You know what I just realized? I was gonna say, isn't that a Breach? I was literally just thinking about that being a Breach Ring Cell mod. That was my first instinct too when I heard it. But I don't think you can get that anymore, huh? So maybe it's just an outdated endgame setup or something? I mean, like you said, on like, so good luck getting something that doesn't exist, yeah. No. I mean, as soon as I saw how crazy the rolls were and everything on that chest, I figured I was never getting it on SSF. I'm not that good at this game. But I don't think it matters because I don't need it. Sounds like the build is cracked enough without it. I just didn't even realize there was an endgame, like, section to this. I thought red maps was the, like, the endgame section for this build. So I just wanted to take a peek at what they had set up for it. Man, really is crazy how tanky we are. And here I was thinking, like, my old school knowledge of Elementalist being like, Elementalist is pretty floppy. But man, I guess it's just that global defenses from, like, the Stone Golem, I guess, on top of the Chaos Res from the other Golem, too. With, like, the increased effect of Elementalist. Like, straight up, I was just face-tanking those I was face-tanking those mobs a second ago. Oh my dear. What is happening? And my health wasn't moving. Pretty nice. Not a bad 5-link body armor, just not on the base we want, so... But do I save it for a different character as an early 5-link? Maybe? Level 38. Let's do it. That's a pretty early 5-link. Worst case, we sell it later if we don't need it. We got a Mind Spiral. I remember this used to be a popular helmet for some builds. Gaining the mana as extra ES and shit. Or at least it was like kind of a starter helmet before you like transitioned in. do like an in-game helmet. Man, it's already almost 4? Gee Christ. I'm not ready to go to bed yet. Mom, I don't wanna. You're still working? Oh no. Amonos just wants to get home and bonk things with his big slow bonk skill.
Why do they always resort to fire?
Let me bonk things. I'm a little worried about, like, I want to go do the lab and swap, but I only have, granted I have some skill points in town that'll get me a little bit more block, but I think I'm only gonna be, like, if I went and did lab right now, I think I'd only be, like, 40% block, maybe slightly higher. A little worried about that. Oh, yo, there's a rune graft in here. 10% reduced attributes for 40% increased global defenses. I guess it's also part of the end game. That's kind of a cool rune graft. Yeah. Common enough from the boat? Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting the boat set up. I think I'll definitely be doing the boat over the mappers, just for, like, rune graphs like that and shit. Seems more beneficial, at least until I feel like I don't need that shit anymore. But... Yeah, we're most definitely not hitting maps tonight, but at the very least, we should be able to get the build off the ground and hopefully start eviscerating enemies. Oh my god. Well, I guess that goes to show my tankiness. Oh my god, I forgot I have a remove flask, actually. When I went to go use my backup flask, I was about to say thank god I have my backup flask, and then it just got rid of it all completely, and then it reminded me, oh yeah, my flask number 2 is bleed remove. But it goes to show my tankiness that I was able to tank frickin' corrupted blood and those little minion lightning pillar things. They're called. I have a phone call, 1 second. Alright, I'm gonna have something I'm gonna need to do in a few minutes, but, it should be, unless there ends up being more, it should be something very quick, so I don't have to end stream or anything, but I will need to AFK for a few minutes, which I kinda have to use the restroom anyway, so it works out good I can use the restroom and double whammy it. Okay, we actually deliver, so we actually finished all the fireflies, which means we can just get this recipe up here and head out. I have to play the, I have to, like, print something off my dad's phone for him, because he's not good with that kind of stuff. That's the quick thing I gotta do. But he's like, it's gonna take me a few minutes to find it, so come up in a few minutes, but I don't know what a few minutes to him is compared to a few minutes to me. Like, if I come up too early, he's gonna be like, oh, I wasn't ready yet. If I come up too late, he's gonna be like, why'd you come up so early? Or so late? I'll have to find it for him. No, I can't. It's an invoice that he took like a picture of, and then he gave the invoice to the customer, and now he needs the invoice again, so I have to print out the picture of the invoice that he took. So I have no idea what I'd be looking for. It's gonna have to be him. Probably give it like 2 more minutes and then I'll go up, and then I may just have to wait for him to finish finding it, so I may... Really, it's just gonna depend on how long it takes him to find it, is how long I'll be gone, so I don't know. Hopefully it won't be too long, though. Man, he's leaving early today. He said he had to leave in 30 minutes. He must have a job far away today. Sometimes he works, like, next state over, and sometimes it's like a 2.5 hour drive. But, he's short on work right now, so he's probably... A lot of the times he avoids taking those jobs, but since he's short on work right now... No, I typically don't go with him. I'm, too out of shape to do plumbing, and I don't know how to do it. I mean, if I did go, I could be like a gopher. He's a plumber, and everything, but I'm a fat ass that's not in shape to do physical labor work for 8 hours. I mostly handle the, like, the computer side of thing, typing, go for this, go for that, yeah. Yep. Which, I mean, it does help him a lot, like, him not having to make trips back and forth to his van and everything. But even just doing that, I'm so fat that doing that for 8 hours would be exhausting. I'm working on getting in shape, though. I've lost some weight and everything. Do I want to be a plumber? Still, no. But I handle a lot of, like, the typing up contracts, permits, and obviously simple things like that, where it's like, I need a picture printed because he doesn't know how to do it, like, things like that. Alright, I think I'll probably go up. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes. I don't know if he found it yet or not, but at least I'll be there and ready. Yeah, I mean, it does pay well. Like, he has his own business, so he works for himself, although sometimes it's like now where it like dries up a bit, but most of the year he's fine. It's like once a year he hits like a dry spell on work. But I'm pretty sure he charges, I guess I don't know if this means much for because we have different currencies, but $100 an hour is what he makes, roughly, is what he charges. Which is, pretty damn good. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes, though. Hopefully it won't be long. Sorry, guys. We'll be back at some point. See you. Goodbye. Alright, so unfortunately I ended up having to do more than I wanted to, which took a while. And then he has more that needs to be done. And I thought it was just printing one picture, ended up being printing 3 pictures, so after I printed the first one, I had to wait for him to find 2 more. And now, because he didn't tell me we're also sending them as an attachment, apparently, I might also need to go re-find those pictures again. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna play until he's ready again. But I will probably just end once he's ready again, because I don't know how long it's gonna take. It might take a few. It might take a little bit to get all this properly attached and sent in an email. Which I guess technically we're getting towards the end of when I normally end anyway, so whatever. He had me print the pictures to then say I'm emailing them. I wish he would have, if he would have told me that we were going to be emailing them after the fact, I would have saved each picture in a spot where we'd know, so that way I can just attach them easily. But he waits until after we go through all of them to tell me that. You're gonna go have some dinner, so I'll catch you. Alright, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm most likely not. He's gonna retype up this thing, and then I'll most likely be leaving, so. But enjoy your dinner. Hopefully, it's something nice and tasty.
The goddess is watching.
Good night. Oh, it's tasty roasted chicken, mashed potato, and gravy, corn on the cob. Ooh, baby. I had a pretty good dinner too. I had steak, mashed potatoes, and green beans.
The weary traveler draws close to the end of the path. The essence of an empire must be shared equally amongst all its citizens. Commit to the cause.
You are inexhaustible.
Sovereign leech leaves but a husk for its descendants.
Yeah, so my plan for the rest of the night, try to finish this. Whenever I have to go, I have to go. But, whether I'm done this or not, I'll just have to pause and finish it when I get back. But probably finish this and then go and try to transition into the new build. Hopefully it works out, and with any luck, maybe we'll be able to... We won't have to switch back. Luckily, we're not unspecking any nodes, so if things don't go well, we can always just... I don't know if we have to change any colors to get the build to work. I want to try to get this done, so I don't want to look yet, but I do feel like it might have been 2 blue, 3... I mean, 2 red, 3 blue for, like, the early version of the build. If that's the case, then I won't have to change colors, but if I do, that'll kind of stink, because we'll have to change back. If it doesn't work out, but... I've actually got a note I'm kind of looking forward that gives you like 25% chance of gaining endurance charge when hit. And then also a increased armor when you're standing still, which... I don't know how well I'll be able to stand still, but... At least if I get stunned or something like that, you'll be standing still, and hits after that will be increased armor. And then also, the endurance charge on hit will be pretty cool, considering we're actively trying to take hits. If the build is working, that's probably the next spot I'm gonna go. Unless I want to look ahead, like, past even the white map build and try to get even more block. I need to take another peek at the white map build, too. I want to see, like, what his actual block percent is, because... Feels like we don't get a lot of nodes on the tree. Other than, like, he does have a 35% block shield, which I don't have, but I have 55%. Which, I guess I'm missing 10. I guess I'd be 65% if I had a good shield. Did I check if this was the way I needed to go? Guess we'll find out the hard way. It was where we had to go. Nice. Alright, we should be good. All kinds of items. Look at all this shit. Got a one-handed axe. We may need. Another one-handed axe. Right. Boom. Hits always ignite. Some nice gem cutters. I guess we'll sack just in case we play. I think the only transfigured gem I can think we'd use is a blue for like a kinetic blast or clustering in case I decide to do Ben's SSF build on SSF. Which we did not get. Is Armageddon brand of volatility any good? I feel like it was decent. Probably not going to use it though. Okay, so we have our ascendancy, we're good to leave. But I figure of the three, that might be the best. My knowledge, anyway. I think this axe is better. The only difference is we're going to be losing the accuracy. Which the accuracy might be nice, but we also don't have the dex to use it right away, so maybe we'll just see what we can do with this as our weapon for now. Let us change, I guess. I wanted to look at white maps and then change the skills to white maps and then the items to white maps. And I just wanted to see what his block is for white maps. I guess it is 76%, which I don't know. I feel like that technically should be higher. Considering all the max block, because isn't 75 the normal max percent, and we get like an extra 5% max block or something, unless 70 is the normal max. I don't know. Anyway. Alright, let's go to our hideout. Let's take a look at... So technically we need a green for this setup. What about 6 to 10? We still need a green for the deadly elements. Shit, so we may need to recolor our chest. I guess we'll try and pray. We don't have a lot of coloring. That was close. Damn. Come on now. Aha! We got it. Okay. So the plan is... Unfortunately, it's going to be level 1, so that should be fun. So we shouldn't judge it too harsh. Phone call, I'll probably have to go. Alright guys, I do have to go, unfortunately, so only 20 minutes shy of when my stream normally ends, but I do have some work I gotta do that kind of came up. I was gonna actually stay up later than normal so I could like play this a bit more, but I'll probably get it set up off stream a little bit and see how it feels, so hopefully it'll be feeling pretty good by the time I'm streaming again tomorrow night. I will be playing a bit during the day, but I won't be able to stream because it's just going to be barely any time that I have to play. I need to cook dinner early, and I need to exercise when I wake up, so all that's going to eat into time, like stream time, so it'll just be the nighttime stream tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Good night.